Welcome to CSL TV, and I just hope you guys are having a beautiful, blessed day. Now, if you're new to the channel, this is just a review, a reaction, as well as an informational channel. Hopefully the informational part help you on someone out, and we pretty much just, talk about stuff that goes on in the world and how crazy it is. But if you've been rocking with your boy, I just gotta say thank you so much, because you could be somewhere else trying to find these videos, but yet you rocking it out with CSL TV, and I just want to say I appreciate it. Thank you. But as in always, I don't want to keep my intro too long.
This story is both disturbing and tragic. This is 33-year-old Hillary Brown, a mother of 3 young children from Pensacola, Florida. She was married to this man, 40-year-old Dr. Ben Brown, a prominent and award-winning plastic surgeon. Media report that Hillary was obsessed with plastic surgery and loved that her husband could perform procedures on her. Back in November, she underwent several procedures at her husband's clinic, including abdominal scar revision and lip injections. Police say Hillary, who had no medical training, was heavily involved in her own procedure.
Ew, guys, I told myself that I was...
She spiked her own IV bag and took a handful of Valium pills. Dr. Brown even allowed her to suture her own skin after one of the procedures. But as Dr. Brown began liposuction on her arm, Hillary started to twitch and grow restless. She told her husband that her vision was blurring and she saw orange, but Dr. Brown didn't stop the procedure. As her condition worsened, she began having a seizure. Authorities say a medical assistant asked Dr. Brown if they should call 911, but he said no. This allegedly happened multiple times over the next 10 to 20 minutes before Dr. Brown relented and asked an assistant to dial 911, but by then it was too late. Hillary was taken to the hospital where she spent a week in a coma before passing away. Her brain had been starved of oxygen. Her cause of death was determined to be complications following lidocaine toxicity. Now, her husband is facing second-degree felony homicide charges, manslaughter by culpable negligence. If convicted, he could face up to life in prison and a $10,000 fine. Hillary's father said she appreciated her husband's career but had a volatile relationship with him. Her social media showed a dramatic plastic surgery transformation over the years. The Daily Mail says Dr. Brown's clinic is also facing several medical malpractice lawsuits. Critics say this case highlights the dangers of a medical industry driven by profit and growth, which are often put ahead of patient safety. In fact, the American Medical Association warns that there is a lack of strict regulations in some private practices, leading to such tragic incidents. Dr. Brown is currently held in a jail pending his first appearance in court. As for Hillary's family, they are left with heartbreaking questions. They are seeking answers and justice for her tragic death.
My condolences goes out to her family. And it's sad that, people nowadays, and I just can't say women, but people nowadays think they need surgery to fix this and that on their body. I think you should only have surgery if it's life-threatening or correction so you can live somewhat of a normal life. But to do things to make your appearance or whatever look different because you're not happy with the looks God gave you. And then another thing I don't like is how he was rewarded all this other shit, whatever. That does not mean you should go to him for all this plastic surgery and all this and that, because he might be the one that's making you want to do that because he is addicted to cutting people and all this other stuff on people. And then for you to be on the table and his assistant to be like, hey, we need to call 911, and you disregard that because you feel you had it under control. I encourage everybody who feel like they need to call help from authorities or whatever safety measures they need to take, regardless of what the other person may feel or think, because it's all about being safe at the end of the day. And unfortunately, he wasn't being safe. So now her family and her kid, is not able to see her, talk to her, any of that shit, create memories, none of that, because he did that by waiting for so long. And it takes seconds for somebody to die. He waited 10, 20 minutes. All that oxygen that wasn't going to the brain, as we heard, is the reason why, that shit happened. So if you feel like you need to be safe, call the authorities or whatever you need to do to save somebody. It don't matter if it's your boss or whoever. Being right will take you so farther in life with the universe than being afraid of an individual who, evidently we just seen what his faith is looking like.
This is usually the scene in Long Beach, a suburb of New York City on Long Island's southern shore. But this is what it looked like last Thursday when more than 2,000 teens descended on the beach for a massive party for Senior Skip Day. This sand hill with a lifeguard chair was covered with teens, while other video shows teens dancing and twerking on top of a cop car. Media report it was at this point when local police called in county police and all hell broke loose. Witnesses say everybody started running and then this happened. Somebody pulled out a gun and opened fire. The greatest country in the world. Cops say one person, a teen, was shot and is recovering in a local hospital. 2 other teens, one believed to be the shooter, were taken into custody. Local white officials were quick to lay the blame on the apparently mostly black youth, while corporate media featured white residents who were outraged at this unruly mob.
We want to enjoy summertime. Like I live here for a reason. I love living here. I just ran this boardwalk yesterday. I come here every day. And you just don't expect those things to happen.
But critics are asking, why wasn't the town prepared, since this has happened at least 3 times over the past 3 years? And the apparently unpermitted party was being advertised on social media. They want to know, why didn't authorities have more officers on hand to begin with, instead of calling in more at the last minute and setting off a stampede? That's to say nothing of our country's gun violence epidemic. Billion-dollar gun companies have made record-setting profits as they've pumped our streets full of weapons of war, as gun violence is now the #1 killer of American youth. But was that mentioned in the press conference? Here's how the white folks in charge want it handled.
When you hear events like this, please educate them and tell them that these things can, although the best of intentions, they can quickly spiral into chaos.
Shit, knowing how crazy this world is, man. Knowing how crazy this world is, they was hoping that a lot of people got hurt, you know what I'm saying, amongst each other. And when they seen everybody was turned up having fun, motherfuckers didn't like that. So then, you know what I'm saying, they couldn't go on any little boardwalks and shit with the dog because it was senior ditch day or whatever day it was for the seniors, and people were just turned up having fun. But then when the police came, all that negative energy that they was creating to come there to break it up, that I think is what made it where these teens was out here acting stupid and shooting, because if they was gonna turn up, they would have been turned up. They wouldn't have turned up when the authorities got there, because that just sound dumb as fuck, you know what I'm saying? And then just to hear people talk about this and that, knowing they've been doing this for years, knowing they had fucking online posts about this, they could have been more alert, more aware of what was going on, instead of thinking however they was thinking. And it didn't turn out how they thought it was gonna turn out. Thank God nobody seriously got hurt, where, you know, it'll be like, oh, 5 deaths and bodies piling up. Thank God no shit like that happened.